Are we live?
We should be live, I think. Yeah, if I did that properly, it says you're live. We're figuring this out. Okay. If I did this correctly, we are live on the internet. You should be able to see Brad and you should be able to see me. We are two members of the band Locket. We are a Fearless Records band. And we're going to do a live stream for you. And on this live stream, we're going to put out, or we're going to play for you, our brand new song. We're doing a cover, and it's going to come out on Friday. So if you're in this stream, you're going to be able to hear it before it comes out on Friday. So make sure to stay tuned. We're going to play it in a little bit. But at first, we're here trying to figure stuff out. Hopefully my internet doesn't give out live stream.
Or mine.
Or Brad's. Yeah, we know how to play our instruments, live streams. This is new to us. So hopefully this is working. And yeah. What's up? Brad, how you doing?
I'm doing. No complaints. I got to keep my windows closed because the Canada Day fireworks are starting, I think. Unless there's something else going on in my town, but
Okay, more important
not too
question.
much. Yes.
Has there been a photo of you on the internet with a mustache, or is this the first reveal?
Oh no, this is the first appearance.
This is the
I think
first.
I think my girlfriend maybe posted something, and yeah. It's
What
me. It'll definitely go away.
what are those glasses called that have like the mustache and the nose?
Is that what it looks like?
That's what the mustache looks like.
It's pretty sweet.
Okay, so for anyone that doesn't know who we are, again, we're Locket, and my name's Corey. His name's Brad. We don't live in the same city, and we haven't ever. So being in a band, we've always kind of been at a distance, so we're a little used to this quarantine thing. The last time I actually did see Brad was when we recorded the song that we're going to play for you today, and we're going to get into that a little bit. But Brad, how have you been spending your quarantine?
I feel like probably the same as anyone that does anything music related, like sitting on the computer for hours on end making music. There's a pool in my backyard. I just say my girlfriend's backyard, so I've been taking advantage of that. But if anyone knows me, Corey's probably gonna laugh as soon as I say this, but I have awful allergies. So for the last 2 weeks, I've been trying to stay inside as much as possible.
Yeah.
Because once I start sneezing, which might happen on the stream, it's very hard to stop. Yeah, other than that, I don't really have too many complaints. What about you?
I've been doing the same thing, and I just got a text. Excuse me. I just got a text from Logan saying that I'm way louder than you. So I'm going to attempt to change this on the fly. This should take 2 seconds here. We're going to
Cool.
go to over here, and we're going to go to this button over here, and this should be better. Brad, can you say what's up?
Is this better? Is
I
this better? Colton, Matt, and Desert.
Volume
Zen
up, Brad.
Trios.
Okay, let me
Volume up.
turn up volume, Matt or Brad's volume. Guys, we're figuring this out again. We're gonna play instruments. Everything else, not. I wouldn't bet on it.
Hey, thanks everyone at Fearless for trusting our dumbasses to try to pull this off, having done this. That is very cool.
And for anybody that's just tuning in, I'm attempting to get Brad's volume a little louder, and then we're gonna jump into the Pro Tools session, and we're gonna play you our new song that's a cover. That's gonna be out on Friday. This is me buying time, trying to figure out how to turn up Brad's volume.
Is it on Friday? Is that when it's coming out?
Yeah, what did I just say? I can't multitask.
I think you said Friday. I feel like I'm out of the loop.
Okay, I think I turned up Brad's volume.
Okay.
People in the chat, we are relying on you to give us instant feedback. Brad, can you say something?
Aaron Rish, you rock, bro. Is this loud enough? It's all right. If this ever stays up on the internet, we'll look back and have something to laugh about.
Yeah, we'll have a good laugh at it.
Quiet.
Okay, there's obviously there's delay because it's a live stream.
Yeah.
We're experts in the field. What are you looking forward to doing most when quarantine's over?
Sitting in your basement, man.
Sitting in my basement, making more
Sitting in your
music.
basement, making more music. No, like that's not to say that isn't one thing, but shows. I feel like everyone's really missing shows. I'm not missing them too much. I'm sure that would be different if I was to play a show and then remember how it feels. But,
Yeah.
like the longer you go without playing a show, I feel like it's really easy for people to think like I could go maybe a month without doing that. And I'm also in no rush to do that for safety reasons, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be fun to see people again. Travis, our bass player, came over to visit the other day for the first time in like months. And like Corey said earlier, if you're just joining, I haven't seen Corey since February.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So it's been a long time. I feel like that's the same for everyone. I don't know. What about you?
Yeah, the same thing. It's more so like just being able to like be with a group of people and not have to worry about the health concerns. Yeah, man, who when we were making this song, it was in February, and then I went to Brazil for a month, and we came back and we finished the song remotely. But when I came back, that's like when the world changed. Who, like when we were making the song that we're gonna play, we had no idea that this was gonna happen. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to being able to hang with my boys again. I'm missing those Walmart parking lots, stretched across the two front seats, lying down on a cooler. Joey actually sleeping in Walmart.
I forgot about that. That's funny.
I think, assuming that we're going to be able to tour again in our lives, that we're not going to take it for granted. This is like the second time in our career where we don't know, what the next step is.
There's uncertainty, yeah. Especially like if things start opening. Like there's a bunch of dickhead country singers that are doing concerts right now, which is so dumb. But when it's actually safe for shows of whatever capacity to start again, I feel like it's still going to be so long for people like us or a band like Bearings who are in Canada, and then we have that extra step of like, okay, now we have to wait for the border to open, which is like that I feel like is going to be so far down on the priority list, at least within this year.
Yeah, and then comes the question of like when it's deemed safe. Yeah,
is it actually safe?
Yeah, and like it's the whole thing. But we're adapting. We're doing what we can. We're learning how to live stream live on the internet. For anyone that's just tuning in right now, again, we're a band called Locket. We put out a record called All Out on Fearless Records just at the end of 2019, and thankfully people have been listening to it, and it is really cool. Diego is asking where is Movements. They are probably somewhere in California, social distancing, which is very far away from us up here in Canada. So we're going to go through in this live stream here and actually listen to a new song that's going to be coming out on Friday. So I'm going to press a button here, and if I've done this correctly, Brad should disappear, and we're going to be on Pro Tools here. Did that work?
Did you do it?
It worked. Okay, cool.
Patrick Miranda LP2, please.
It's coming. If you stay to the end of the stream, we'll tell you the release date. That's a joke. Okay, so does anyone out there, before we play this, is anyone out there a Fleetwood Mac song or a fan?
I hope one person says, my mom is a huge Fleetwood Mac fan.
Actually, when I told my mom that we covered this song, she said exactly those words. I was like, what's your favorite song? She didn't give me an answer. She just told me she was a big fan of Fleetwood Mac.
Awesome.
All right. I'm not going to wait for this YouTube delay. We're going to figure this out. So for everyone that's here, we're going to play our new song for you. It's coming out on Friday. This is a cover of the song Everywhere by the band Fleetwood Mac. There it is. Brad, if you're listening to the stream, it is just the song has just finished playing there. Oh, Brad's muted.
Yep.
There you go.
I'm back.
Okay. So there's our songs. That is our cover of the song "Everywhere" by the band Fleetwood Mac, and that's going to be out on Friday. Everywhere here on this Fearless Records YouTube channel, Spotify. We have links to all our socials in the description of this video, so be sure to go down to the description, follow us on Spotify, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Instagram, all that good stuff. Brad, why did we decide to cover this song?
2 reasons. One, Fearless told us to cover one of several songs on a big list. That song was not on that list, but there were Fleetwood Mac songs on there, and who doesn't love Fleetwood Mac? That song is so good. So that's why we covered it. I could probably give an elaborate reason, but it does seem slightly timely given the circumstances, if that makes sense.
Yeah. When we did this, for anyone that's just tuning in, we started this in February. So we had planned for Brad to just like come over to work on some music. And we've made a bunch of music over the years. So we kind of have like I don't know, let's call it a process. But we've worked on a lot of music together and we had some ideas of what we wanted to do. We were actually planning to cover a completely different Fleetwood Mac song.
Oh, yeah.
And I think we spent maybe the first day.
Oh, more than that. I think we spent 2 days. And then we realized that I am not as good of a singer as I thought it was. It's just, we were going to cover Dreams, and that, the like register, I wish you got to sing that song to make it sound the way it does, is like so not something I'm able to do. I think we did maybe one pass of it, and it just sounded silly.
Well, we were trying to find out, like not to get into the weeds on it, but we were trying to figure out which key to play the song in, and the vocal range is just like so wide that we decided to do this song, and it was actually a lot of fun, and I'm glad we did because there's a lot of like really interesting, cool little creative things. So, to anyone that's heard the song, the most iconic part of it to me, let's see if I did this right. Boom. Click a button. Now we're looking at Pro Tools. Okay, Brad's still here, but right now you're just looking at me. The most iconic part of this song to me is that intro. And let me just solo it here. So this is the actual Pro Tools session of the song. This is it right here. This is how we did it. So let me play this bells part, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. So this is the intro. So, Brad actually learned how to play that really fast, and that's how we made that. That's a joke. That's not the case. Brad's listening to the stream, like everything he hears off Pro Tools, he's hearing from YouTube, so there might be a little bit of delay.
Yeah, there's definitely a delay
on our responses. But yeah, for any nerds out there, if you haven't been able to tell, I'm a nerd. The way we created that, we actually used a real analog synth from the 80s. I don't even know the model off the top of my head, but it was actually my dad's old synthesizer. So it's pretty special to be able to use that in like a purpose like this and be able to make music with it now here in 2020. And yeah, we just made the MIDI for it, performed it through there, and we got that arpeggiated riff. But after we got the main part down, that iconic synth part, Brad started pointing out to me that there was like all these random little sounds in the intro. And it wasn't until he started pointing them out that I was like, oh my God, there are these sounds. Brad, do you want to touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, like, I don't have access to the song right now, but it's crazy. Like, especially a song that I've probably listened to like upwards of 1,000 times in my 28 years on earth. Like actually breaking it down and listening to the parts, there's these weird little like bells and super chimey things that like come in and out. And Corey and I would not argue, but would sit in front of his monitors for like 10 minutes at a time being like, do you hear that? Like, no, I don't hear that. And then 10 minutes later be like, do you hear this? Like, no, I don't hear what you're talking about. But they're all in there.
Yeah, well, the craziest part about it, the craziest part about it was that I wouldn't hear them until Brad would point them out. There's a little voice crack. And then when he pointed them out, I couldn't not hear them. But they were so tucked in there that we didn't know what instrument was making those sounds. Like if it was just like, I don't know, melodic content from another instrument. So we just used whatever we had, and we just, I'll play an example for you guys. So if I did that correctly, we should be looking at Pro Tools. Boom. So we have the bells part here, which this is the main bells part. Sounds lovely. And then Brad was like, there's actually another melody in there, and it sounds like this. Which is hilarious. Just like something, and he wouldn't let it go, so we had to get it done. And I'm glad that we did, because it is more true to the real version. And altogether, that's what this sounds like. I'll play the bells one more time so you can hear it.
HC Lucifer, please, 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 please. You got it.
So there's the bells part there. And just touching on that, we're going to go through and talk about a couple more details. If you have any questions about anything Locket related, Fearless Records related, or anything like that, feel free to ask them at any time. We are watching the chat, so we're going to talk about this, but if there's anything else you guys find interesting, we will get distracted and talk about that. What was I going to do? Then we use those same synths throughout the rest of the song. We made all these other little synth sounds that sound like this. This is in the chorus. So it was really cool to work on, a song that's from the past and be able to use hardware and instruments that are from a similar time period to recreate those sounds.
I don't remember, the keyboard that we used for maybe the synth pads, I don't even know if it was the same one we used for the lead, but is that the one that you found literally on like the side of the road somewhere when you were walking?
No, it wasn't that synth, but it was a little toy kind of Casio keyboard. Oh, and we just lost Brad. Here, give me 1 second. The Zoom call went down. That is hilarious. This is the fun of live streaming. Guys, talk amongst yourself for 1 second here. And we are going to start a new chat with Brad. You can't anticipate everything. We're doing our best. There's two of me. What's up? Let's get Pro Tools over here. And oh, we're having a good laugh about this. There's Brad. He said it kicked me out. How we doing? How's the live chat doing? Why did you cover the Oasis song? Like the reason behind this specific song. We covered the Oasis song because it was weird. It was actually Brad's idea. He could probably talk more about it once we get him back here on the chat. But we covered it. It was something that Brad wanted to do for a long, long time. And actually, there's actually a really good story with it. Brad, are you back here?
I'm back.
I can't hear your audio. Wait, I got to send this group chat to myself. You're probably live. Hold up.
Am I back?
Okay, you're live. People can hear you. That's good.
Nice.
That looks good. You can see behind the curtain here. Brad, talk to the live chat while I just get this sorted on my end. This is so good.
The live chat. What's going on with the live chat? Shout out to technology. No, Kate, you know what it is? It's that I do not want to pay for Zoom. So I think my 40 minutes is up. Um,
Do,
but
do,
Matt Fredericks,
do.
yes, Corey mixed the song. Corey mixes all of our music and produces all our music, and Mike Tucci, who mastered our album All Out, mastered the cover. And why did we cover the Oasis song? We covered the Oasis song because that song fucking slams. I don't have any other reason. It's a good song, and I feel like it's in my Q zone. You know.
Brad, we should recount the story of why we like we you had planned to cover the song for a long time. Like this was something that was always like on the to-do list.
Which song? The Everywhere or
The Oasis song.
the Oasis? Yeah, yeah.
And then we got a good reason for it that we didn't end up needing to use it for. Do you remember that?
I do.
So we recorded that cover a while ago, and we were kind of in like a little bit of a limbo stage. And there was someone that was a huge Oasis fan that we wanted to work with. So we were just trying to use our time effectively, and we were spending a weekend hanging out, and we wanted to make some music. And yeah, so we made the cover that weekend with the intent of showing it to someone, in hopes that they would work with us. But then the stars aligned, and that didn't happen. So then we ended up recording the cover for not that reason. But
And a funny story about that cover, there, Corey found like a I don't know, some sort of sample of a stadium crowd cheering. Like it sounds like it was probably recorded at Coachella or Reading Festival or something. And Corey put that over the entirety of the song, and it sounded so good that I think what started out as a joke almost became like a serious decision to maybe keep it in, just tucked in. If you know Corey or you follow Corey on YouTube and have watched him break down some mixes, you know that there's probably always like some weird sound tucked in here or there.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Yeah, that whole recording, that Oasis recording, was like as live as it gets. It's a live drum take, it's a live full bass take, guitar takes. Everything about it is like really raw. And that's the beauty of doing these covers, because it really gives you the flexibility to try some stuff outside of your comfort zone. But yeah, we put a giant crowd in there, and it sounded awesome. And the boys made me take it out. All right, now that we're back here, let me just make sure. Okay, we're looking at Pro Tools here. Let me look at my little cheat sheet here. Let's talk about the drums. So at the start of the stream, we discussed that Brad came over to my place. We had a loose idea of what we wanted to do. We ended up not doing that and then recording this cover instead. But we didn't record drums here in Ottawa. So we recorded the guitars, bass, the vocals, the synth, all of those elements. And we also recorded them to like a fake drummer in the computer as a placeholder. Like we were going to get real drums on it afterwards. So I end up going to Brazil for a month. And then when I come back, we need to get drums on this track. So who else other than Mr. Joey Demers do you get to play drums on your track? The man can sing. The man can play guitar. The man can play drums. He lives like 10 hours north from here. We live in Canada, so we're already probably more north than most people watching this. But he lives 10 hours north from me in the middle of a forest. Yeah, and he played and recorded all the parts himself. He's got beautiful blue eyes. Let's listen to some of Joey's drumming. I'm going to play some of the verse here. So this is just the drums. If you know anything about Joey's drum style, you can tell that that's a Joey beat. He's good at keeping it simple, but also just adding like a little bit of his personality into it. Brad, do you have anything to say about the drums there?
We asked Joey to do something, and he did it.
Yeah. In a timely fashion, too.
Yeah, super fast. Like, and I think anytime we've needed, like Joey added some really cool stuff to the alternate version of Out of Sight that we streamed at the Fearless at Home thing. And I think I talked on the phone with Joey for all of, I don't know, 5-6 minutes and just told him some ideas I had. And within the hour, he had like executed everything perfectly, nailed all the parts, and then some. So It's good. It's good to work with musicians where you don't need to like to check up on things. You can just trust that like you speak the same language, and yeah, it's a blessing to have you, Joey. I
Yeah,
see you in the
Joey's
chat.
the best. Joey's played some shows with us. Can't go wrong with Joey. If you destroy your van while on tour as well, he'll put the whole thing back together with no manual. Um, Brad, do you want to talk a little bit about the style of the track and why we kind of like made it this more chilled, laid back thing? You had some references at the start of kind of how you envisioned
Well,
it.
well, first of all, when if you're just joining the chat or you haven't been here the whole time, we were talking about how we were going to cover a different Fleetwood song, but it was not in my range. We couldn't figure out what key to play it in. And when we went to Everywhere, there's these the lyrics are placed in a way that's like really peppy and like really fun,
Something's happening.
but it just sounded like not so cool when I was singing words like peculiarly the way that they're sung in the original. Like we couldn't do a take without laughing. So we had the idea like maybe if we slow the song down and stretch it out, it'll be a little easier to sing. And then still those words like just did not sound right. So we swapped out some lyrics and then got the vibe that way. But when we tracked this, I was just starting to listen to that last Claro record like on repeat, and there's a couple songs on there like the big hit Bags, and I think it's called North or the North on that song. Like it's got this really cool garage rock, like super loosey goosey jammy vibe to it, and that's not something we usually do. Especially if you listen to the record, it's like pretty full blown production, like all over the place. So it was kind of nice to strip it back and just keep things kind of simple that way.
Yeah, I think it all kind of the whole the whole arrangement was based off like you singing and just kind of playing like a really like loose wrist kind of like guitar riff to it, just kind of strumming along. And yeah. I remember we went back and forth on the guitar tone like 1,000 times trying to like dial in one that was like chimey enough and whatever. But then we ultimately ended up re-recording the guitars anyways. So when you left my place, you ended up sending me files of new guitars, even after the ones, like even afterwards. It might have been even after we got the drums tracked. And you sent them over to me, and thanks to the power of technology, I was able to make them sound the same as the ones we had there.
And you know what it was too? I think at first, like since we decided we weren't going to make it this like super upbeat, like bouncy version like the song originally is, I think we had it in our heads, or at least I had it in my head, that like there could be no distortion. It had to be clean guitars. And every time I would listen to like a rough bounce of it, I would have my guitar plugged into my like home recording setup, and I would be running it through like a rat pedal or some sort of distortion and think like, damn, like that sounds so good. But I was very hesitant to embrace the distortion. And then Corey knows this, I'm a huge Weezer fan, so anytime I listen to Weezer, especially like the Blue Album and stuff like that, you don't think of them as like super heavy, like driven songs, but the thing I love about the songs is they're like light and upbeat and poppy, but there's these like super heavy grunge guitars throughout them. So that's kind of what we threw in there. I think towards like maybe the last chorus, there's these like really chuggy, like feedback ridden, palm muted guitars.
Yeah, like Brad said there, the Blue Album. That was his reference for me. He said, "Make this sound like the Blue Album."
That's my reference always.
Yeah.
Matt Fredericks asked, what do you guys use for guitar tones? Live, I guess, would be different than in the studio for the most part. Usually we'll run it through a PV-VTM head, which is like what we play live, Corey and I both, which is like an older 80s model of a PV head. And the main distortion we have used for like literally years is the Proco rat pedal. I don't know if Corey does anything in like post plugin wise. And for this song, I know we used Corey's Kemper with like whatever presets he had downloaded.
Yeah. So yeah, like Brad said, live, we use the same thing, and we've used it literally for a handful of years. In the studio, usually, like on the album, that's what we used, I believe. I don't know, the way our workflow works is we just try things, and then when we find something we like, we just go with it. So it doesn't really matter how we get there. So on the Oasis cover, we actually used a JCM 800 clone for all the guitars and the bass. I was just borrowing it from a friend. It sounded great, so we used that. On this Everywhere cover, we used my Kemper, which was just using a JCM 800 clone. I think a big part of our guitar sounds, too, are usually we track with Brad's Jazzmaster. And I don't know what it is, but that guitar and the way Brad plays just like has a sound that to me sounds like our band. And on top of that, let me reach back here. This is my guitar that I've toured with. I have totally destroyed the headstock. You can see some screws up here. I've destroyed the paint job. This thing has seen it all. And I don't know if it's because it's a good guitar or I've just played it the most, but that one to me feels like home. So we use that a lot as well when recording, and I think that that's guitars.
That's guitars.
Any other questions before we start talking about more nerdy stuff? I haven't used bias effects. Brad, have you?
Nope, I have not. Hello, Paige. Hello, Anna.
Hello, Anna. Hello, Paige. Cool. All right. So short answer long. We use guitars and amplifiers. Sometimes we don't. I'll play that Weezer part for you real quick here. This is what we mean. So this is just Brad sending me a DI signal. I'm running it through a plugin. No one's got to know.
You know that I'm falling, I don't know what to say. I'll speak a little louder.
So you can hear that it's just a chuggy guitar part. There's actually 3 guitar parts in that verse. So the Weezer part gets to be the quietest one. Let's keep moving forward. Right now we're at 36 minutes. We're 36 minutes into this. We're going to get to what everyone wants to see, and that is the vocals.
Oh, God.
So, Brad, I'm going to let you in on a little secret here.
Yeah.
When we track the verse, okay, let's take one step back. When you do a cover, there's no rules. You can either try and keep it as close to the cover as possible. You can make it your own. And even as a band, you can go outside of, things that you normally do. It gives you an excuse to try and experiment with stuff. So, my thought process going into it was maybe we'll double track the verses. We'll do 2 takes of Brad's voice, put them on top of each other. It's a technique old as time. And I didn't like it. So in post, I ended up pitching up his voice an octave. And once you hear it, you can't really unhear it. So I'm going to play this 3rd verse here. And I'm going to play it once normally, just the whole track, and then I'll solo the vocals, and we'll have a good laugh at what I've done.
Can you hear me calling out your name? You know that I'm falling and I don't know what to say. Come on, honey, let's make a start. Let's make it soon before you break my heart.
Lovely. Okay, so we have Brad's main voice here, which sounds like this.
You know that I'm falling and I don't know what to say.
That was tracked right here, probably using this microphone, probably 2 feet away from where I'm sitting. Just rough and dirty. And then we tracked a double of that vocal, but I decided that it would sound better up an octave. And soloed, this is what that sounds like.
Can you hear me calling out your name? You know that I'm falling and I don't know what to say. Come on, honey, let's make a start. Let's make it soon before you break my heart.
Brad, before I told you that was in there, did you have any idea that...
I had no idea, but I feel like I know well enough at this point that there's just going to be
yeah,
a million things that are probably tucked in there I wouldn't know otherwise. It used to be, for reference, Corey used to hide, and I'm sure he still does it, maybe not on our projects, but he used to hide explosions and like rocket ships taking off and stuff.
Dude, you
And
don't
of
hide
course
them, and
it's
it's gunshots. Gunshots.
It's
That's the
gunshots.
secret.
That's what it is. Just to like give some impact on stuff, which I guess is pretty common enough. But 5 years ago when we started making music together, it was kind of like, dude, what the hell are you doing?
You hired me for sound design.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now that we've had a good laugh at that, let's.
Aldi, if anyone knows what's the software, it is Pro Tools.
We're using Pro Tools. Brad is a Logic user, and honestly, it seems like you're spending all your time in Logic. So I'm curious to see your chops.
Yeah, I'm getting quick, man.
You're gonna start.
Especially with my new machine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got my wireless mouse and keypad and everything, and it's just kind of like click, 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 click. I think I've got all my shortcuts down now. So
Next thing you know, 6 years are gonna go by, and you're like, where am I?
yeah.
Okay. So let's keep going down the vocals here, and let me get the Pro Tools going. Obviously, this. What's up?
Sorry, just for transparency, I'm trying to listen when you're playing audio. I'm trying to listen to the stream, but I have like a 20 to 30 second delay, so I might just not bother. But if you can tell me what part you're listening to, I'll probably know what you're talking about.
You can refresh it, and it might help. It might not.
I tried.
All right.
It's not worth
That's
it.
okay. So we're going to play some of the chorus vocals. Whenever we do vocals, we always layer them up. It's usually just a game of bouncing ideas back and forth off each other. And I'm going to solo the chorus vocals, and we're going to play them because there's you can see I have this track here in Pro Tools. I just named them 1 through 12 because I didn't think it was worth giving them all a name. But check this out.
I wanna be with you everywhere. I wanna be with you everywhere. I wanna be with you everywhere. Oh, I wanna be with you everywhere.
So that might be the only time in your life, to anyone that's watching this, that you will get to hear soloed Corey and Brad vocals singing together. I do not like singing. I am very aware of my limitations when it comes to singing. But Brad sometimes likes to...
Okay, I don't know. I think we had this joke in the band where anytime Corey is singing by himself, someone noticed it like years ago, but like
I think it was me.
it was probably you. It's
Yeah.
like, man, I sound like Mark Hoppus. And now it's really hard to unhear. And this he's singing falsetto, I think. So
Yeah.
it's a little different. But yeah, if there's any chance, I think if a band, whether it's us or like someone else, I mean, depending on the part, but I think it's really nice to have like two different voices, because even if you're singing the same notes, like obviously Corey's voice is going to sound different than my voice, and Joey's voice is going to sound different than Corey's voice, and so on. So I think it just adds like a nice little textural difference.
Yeah.
Danny P6, an iconic duo. Damn straight.
Thanks, Danny P.
Danny P.
Yeah. It's actually it's interesting because when I played that to my mom the first time,
Yeah.
because she's a huge Fleetwood Mac fan, she recognized my voice instantly. Like 1 second,
Oh, yeah.
she knew. So I was like, oh, damn.
Yeah, I think the same
I got a
like,
fan.
when I played it for Haley in the car, whatever, we got our first like bounce back from you. She's like, is that Corey? Yeah, who else would it be?
Yeah. I sing on Fearless Records. It's, no. Bad joke. Okay. Angelic. Thank you, Logan. I mean, bless the fall. All right. We got some other stuff to talk about in here. Again, anybody has any questions, anything Locket related, feel free to put it in the chat. We're going to go through and keep talking about a couple things that we think are interesting or funny. And if you haven't yet, if you look at the description, I got to look at the camera when I do this. Look at the description of the live feed. We have all our socials there. So this song is going to be coming out on Friday. It would be very cool if you followed us on Spotify. Also, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, subscribe on YouTube. We do it all. We're plugged in, and we'd like to see you there.
Plugged in.
You want to get to the stinky lead?
The that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get to that.
Okay. This is the last chorus thing. So a little arrangement tidbit for anyone out there that is making music, you know. You can make your song a little bit more interesting by, you know, having the last chorus be slightly different. So it's fun to introduce new elements towards the end of the song to give them some forward momentum. So we have these audio tracks here called Stinky Lead. That's probably my doing.
100%.
But when you make music with your friends, it's okay to have fun. So this is what the Stinky Lead sounds like.
I wanna be with you everywhere. I wanna be with you everywhere. I wanna be with you everywhere. I wanna be with you everywhere.
I didn't switch to the Pro Tools view. Uh-oh. That's okay.
That's okay.
So yeah, it's just the big lead guitar there. Now, sorry, what was that, Brad?
I was just gonna say we have like a similar, like the main lead guitar in the title track off our record, All Out. It has like a really similar guitar bend sort of thing, and I've been obsessed with like that kind of sound now. Like that's like one of my favorite songs to play live. And I remember when we tracked it, I was thinking like, this song could use the flavor.
On top of that
I think-
too,
Yeah,
the Zoe lead there,
yeah. There's is that on an acoustic or is that
full on electric.
it's all on electric? Yeah. So there's that one lead that like is kind of drony and like sounds like an eagle soaring through the sky. That one was a reference to one of our other songs, and yeah, that like kind of dissonant back and forth thing we've done on a few songs. I think we do it here and there on Out of Sight, but that originally was written like 5 years ago when we were a different band, when we were called something else, and I think that's stuck with us. Which segues to Nadine's question: define Locket sound in minimum 5 words, max 10 words.
You're
Ooh,
up.
I'm up.
Yeah, go for it.
Brad, Corey, Trav, Joey, make
Logan.
boom. Logan, make sounds. I don't know.
Friends. Wait, sorry. Let me read. I gotta read the question again. Define Locket sound in minimum 5 words, max 10 words. Okay, so 5
Really
to 10
quiet,
words.
really loud.
Yeah, dynamic. Really strong, really emotional and sad, really a little weird. That was probably 10 words.
What do you use? What do you use for reverb on vocals, Corey?
Ooh, that's a good question. It usually changes depending on whatever the application is. What do I got going on here? I'm using this. I'm using this. I'm using. Oh, this is. No one's looking at the screen. Boom. We're figuring it out. The plugins don't show because of the way I have it set up. I use the Valhalla Vintage Verb. It
Nice.
is a great plugin. My friend Miki from Amnita actually turned me on to it, and really awesome band. Yeah, we were working on vocals for a track for one of his songs a while ago. I think this was in November maybe, and he just got this reverb sound that I couldn't create with what I had, so I had to get it, and I've been using it a lot since. So that's my answer.
Peace.
I'm laughing at Logan.
I'm content with the answer. I am glad. I don't really even think we gave a proper answer to what you asked. but
Yeah. If you were to ask us that in 5 minutes, we'll give you a different answer. Yeah. So there's a bunch of other little nerdy things we could talk about. We talked about most of the interesting stuff. How the drums were tracked, how Brad and I made this over the course of a handful of days in February, pre-quarantine. And yeah, it's going to be out on Friday. So I'm going to play this one more time, top to bottom. If you have any questions or you want to talk about anything, now's a good time to put them in the chat. We'll be reading it, and we'll hang out for a little bit afterwards, and then we'll call it a night. So here we go. We'll play it one more time. Everywhere. Boom. And my mic is...
Boom. Boom.
Okay. There it is. Everywhere.
There it is.
So this song will be out everywhere. Haha. On Friday.
Boo.
Boo. Couple questions. Is that a dare? Because I will absolutely ask again in 5 minutes. It's been 5 minutes, and you haven't asked. How do we get the bass tone for All Out? Brad, do you remember this?
I have no idea. Was it the Fender? Was it the Bassman? The Fender Bassman?
We did record the amp, but I didn't end up using it.
Classic.
It was recorded on
Was it the Kemper?
No. It was all through plugins, but I'm trying to point at this. There we go. This bass guitar that's behind me. Okay, we got it. There we go. I'm pointing at it now. It was recorded on this bass guitar. And we did record a real amp with it, but then I decided in the mix stage that wasn't the move. And I believe we just ended up using the stock Sans amp plugin in Pro Tools. So, go figure.
Yeah, sounds good. You know what's funny? Actually, I was in a session like last year in December, right when we got back from the TDS run, with Sam doing like Pacific stuff, and I think more than once he was like, "Dude, how did you get the bass tone on Sun Shower? It's just like the craziest thing." And I think I remember you saying like it's just all stock, like whatever stuff.
He's asked me about it a bunch of times too.
Has he?
There's no secrets. Like it's
Sam.
yeah.
Love Sam.
He has a go-to Sans amp plugin that is free, but it's not stock, and I know that's his favorite. It sounds really good.
Yeah.
Ooh, Paige, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being
Paige.
a number one supporter since day one.
I'm starting a Joey and Logan fan club. Who's joining? We already started one, so
Yeah, we're in your club.
we're in your club. Okay, here it is. Describe Locket sound in 5 words, max. Yes, I'm changing the question. No one ever says rules. You got to take this one because I'm going to overthink it. It doesn't matter.
I can't do it. It's
really, really loud, really soft. Yeah.
yeah.
That's 5 words if you include the yeah. Joey, when's the next Lighten Up with Logan video? Postpone, man. Hollywood is not open right now. Hollywood's closed.
Yeah.
You got to wait until things are back up and running.
If anybody's wondering what Joey's talking about, head on over to the Locket YouTube channel. And we have a guy named Logan that every time we've toured, for the history that we've toured, Logan's been there. And he's been... no one has seen us perform live more than Logan. And he's the guy, if you bought merch from us at a show at any point, he gave you that merch. He's awesome. He's one of our best friends as a band. And anytime he was there when we recorded this cover, he was sitting on the couch behind us the whole time. When we did the Oasis cover, he was there. When we did the album, he booked work off and he was there. So he really is the secret 5th member. So we created a show on our YouTube channel called Lighten Up with Logan. And when he just answers your questions, and it's a lot of fun. We've done 2 episodes. We'll do some more in the future. So be sure to follow or subscribe to Locket on YouTube. There will be a link for that in the description to this video. All right, we're gonna hop off soon. If anybody has any final questions, now's the time to get them in.
I don't know why I'm here, but here in Italy, it's like 2 a.m. in the morning. Anyway, support all you're doing. Behind the Mix is always interesting. Thank you very much. Go to bed. That's very late, but we appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's very kind.
That's cool. If you're interested, if you know any of our other songs, I've done a couple videos like this with less technical difficulties over on my YouTube channel. My name is Corey. If you look at the tag that's currently underneath me, if you type that in on YouTube, you'll be able to find videos on that on my YouTube channel. So be sure to check those out if production is something that interests you. The Greenlit Collective, sending in a heart. We appreciate it.
What are your backgrounds in music production? Corey, go ahead.
I went to school right out of high school here in the city I live in. I live in Ottawa, Canada. And I took a production course. I did not do well in high school. I didn't even apply for this program. My parents applied for me because They knew that I liked music, but I didn't really have a plan. So they applied to the college program for me. I showed up, and I found out that I really, really enjoyed doing it. Took the program. That gave me a really solid foundation. I ended up working at a studio for a while, and that's how I ended up meeting Brad, playing in bands and stuff like that. And then Brad was trying to save money one day, so he hit me up to work on something for cheap. I ended up going to Toronto and sleeping on his floor. That was like 5 years ago. And yeah, I've just been
Here we are.
making records since. That's been my like full-time gig around playing band stuff. Cool. All right.
Let's wrap it up.
We're going to wrap it up. It's 8 o'clock. We're going to be on time. One final plug. You've heard me say it a million times. Everywhere. It's coming out this Friday. Make sure to go to our Spotify, follow us, and obviously listen to it when it comes out. There's also links for everything else. So subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. That's it. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you when we see you. Take care.
See you when we see you.